Welcome to the Intuitive Hour with psychic medium, author, and intuitive life coach, Michelle Beltran. The Intuitive Hour will empower you to learn how to magnify your intuitive voice. Listen in and expand your understanding of what it means to be psychic and how to awaken, amplify, and trust your inner voice.
The fifth dimension. What on earth is it? Let's break that down today. A very fun and exciting episode for you. Welcome, welcome. Let's begin. All right, so we're all very familiar with the third dimension. It's the world we live in, the one we can touch, see, and measure. It has length, width, depth. It's governed by linear time, past, present, and future, and a sense of separation. We feel like individuals, separate from each other, from nature, and from the universe. In our 3D world, life often feels structured, logical, and sometimes even a little heavy. It's the dimension of the mind, of ego, and of learning through duality. For example, right and wrong, good or bad, love and fear, emotions. The fourth dimension, however, the next level, is often seen as a bridge. So think of it that way. It's where time becomes more fluid. If you consider dreams for a moment, deep meditation, or even those moments where time seems to fly or crawl really slow. That's the fourth dimension. That's a taste of it. It's a bit more flexible, for sure. It can also be a space of illusion and emotional intensity as we begin to process our 3D baggage, so to speak. Then comes the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension isn't a physical place you travel to. It's a state of consciousness. It's a vibrational frequency that you tune into. Imagine, if you will, for a moment that you have a radio. 3D is like being tuned in to a station that plays a lot of news reports, maybe about traffic and problems of that sort. 5D is like finding a station that plays beautiful, harmonious music that makes your heart feel full. The radio is the same, that's you, but the experience is completely different simply by changing the frequency. Okay, so in 5D, the rules we know from 3D start to melt away. Let's look at them. Oneness as a first. The biggest shift is from separation to unity. So in 5D, you don't just believe we are all connected, you feel it. The lines between you, me, and the universe blur. You see the divine in a stranger's eyes, for example, in a tree, in yourself. Unconditional love. In 5D, the baseline is unconditional love. Fear is the dominant vibration of 3D. So in 5D, it's a state of being where compassion, acceptance, and love flow freely without judgment or conditions. Instant manifestation. This is a biggie. In 3D, there's a time lag between a thought and its physical creation. In 5D, the gap between thought and reality is much smaller. Your focus, intention, and emotional state Create your experience almost instantly. And last, living from that heart-centered space. The 3D world is run by the mind, logic, analysis, and planning. The fifth dimension is the realm of the heart. Decisions are guided by intuition, joy, and deep inner knowing. It's a reality based on love, not fear. A reality where you are a conscious creator living in a state of flow, joy, and purpose in every moment. All right, moving next on to the theories behind the 5D universe. It's a little tricky, it seems a little complicated, but I'll try to make it as simple as I can. Two theories, the unified and string theories, are believed to be the reason behind the fifth dimension. You might remember in your earlier school years when you learned about gravity, why something you're holding, a ball, whatever it is you're holding, drops to the earth. Gravity. And also electricity. Why we don't stick forks into outlets. Think back to when you were learning all about that. Physicists have long since been in search of one explanation, a unified theory that ties all those wild forces together. That's where the idea of the fifth dimension comes in. Adding to this, in the 1920s, a mathematician, Kaluza, alongside a physicist named Klein, had a wild idea. They thought, what if our universe has a secret hidden dimension, but we can't see it? Putting their mathematician, scientist minds together, these two realized that if there is a fifth dimension that we can't see, it could explain both gravity and electromagnetism, two totally different forces using the same math. And now, fast forwarding to today, modern physicists have taken this idea way further, and herein enters the string theory. The string theory, with its mathematical framework, requires extra dimensions to work consistently, meaning these dimensions are not directly observable because they are called what has been referred to as compactified or curled up into microscopic shapes, much like a garden hose looks one-dimensional from a distance but has a second dimension up close. The specific shapes of these curled up dimensions could determine the properties of fundamental particles and forces in our dimensional universe. So, think of this theory as the garden hose analogy. And if you can imagine a garden hose, from far away it looks like a one-dimensional line. But if you get closer, you see its second circular dimension that wraps around it. The extra dimensions in string theory are similar, but on a subatomic scale, of course. So there you are, the theories behind this, clear as mud, I'm sure, to some of you. That aside, this is an extremely important and useful theory for us to know about and work with. So some of you might have had a 5D moment, and you know exactly what this feels like, and some of you not. So let's talk a little bit about how this moment might feel and find you. And it might sound a little bit out there. Imagine for a moment, though, you're having a stressed day, you're feeling disconnected from everyone, you're just downright feeling blah. You find yourself thinking or reading about things, trying to get yourself into a better space or think your way into feeling better. So here you are now walking through the park, completely lost in your head and thought and worry. There's a deadline coming, your mind is racing, a classic 3D spiral. And suddenly, you stop, You find your groundedness. Maybe you sit, you breathe, you let everything go. You look at one single ridiculously simple flower, a dandelion or a bird, or children laughing. And then it happens. For a fleeting moment, it's all gone. It's an epiphany of sorts. The noise in your head, boom, gone, all of it. You weren't just looking at that dandelion or that bird or those children. You felt you were part of it, feeling the joy, the beauty. You were connecting with those things around you. You could feel its resilience, its unapologetic brightness. You felt this overwhelming wave of love, not just for the flower or the bird or the children, but you had a sense of release and joy, and you felt one with everything around you. It's an epiphany of sorts. All was perfect. You felt connected. However you want to describe it, you felt connected, and you released all this worry and fear. In such a way, perhaps, that the mind just can't really explain, but it happens. There you go, that's a 5D experience. It might have lasted 10 seconds, but it changed everything. That, friends, was the real taste of a 5D consciousness moment. It wasn't something you achieved. It was something you allowed in surrender. It was a moment of pure presence and love. And it showed you that this other reality was not a galaxy away. It's right here for you, with you, waiting for you to tune in. Now then, how does 5D help us with our 3D lives? That's the big question, right? It's lovely to think about a reality of love and light, but we still have bills to pay, jobs to go to, relationships to navigate. So how does this actually help us now? Think of it this way. You're not abandoning 3D. You're bringing 5D consciousness into your 3D experience. You're learning to play the game of life with a new set of inner rules. And here's how. Navigate challenges with grace. Life will still have its ups and downs, but when you're operating from a 5D perspective, you see challenges differently. Instead of seeing them as punishments or failures, you see them as opportunities for growth. You approach problems with curiosity instead of fear. The drama falls away, no exception, and you can find solutions from a place of calm clarity. All right, deepening your relationships. Looking for more authentic relationships. So when you start to work from a place of unconditional love, which as we know is 5D, your relationships transform. You become less judgmental of others and yourself, by the way. You can communicate from the heart. You're creating connections in this space that are truly authentic. You attract people who resonate with your new frequency and this lovingly release. Unlocking your creative purpose. Indeed, the 5th dimension is the home of creative inspiration. By quieting that fearful chatter of the 3D mind, you create space for your soul's true calling to emerge. Particularly in those creative means, your life purpose and soul calling means. You're going to find yourself guided by joy and passion, rather than by what you think you should be doing or others think you should be doing. Your unique gifts begin to shine because you are no longer afraid to express them. And last, you become a conscious creator, a manifester. You stop feeling like a victim of circumstance and you realize you are a creator. You create your reality. By managing your thoughts and emotions, you consciously choose the experiences you want to have and you make them happen. And this doesn't mean, by the way, that bad things never happen. It means that you understand your power to respond and to shape your reality from the inside out. You're at the helm, you're in charge. You might start applying this with your finances, shifting from a mindset, for example, of I never have enough to one of I'm always supported, and knowing that. All right, as we begin to wind down, everyone, a few simple ways to start tuning into 5D. Ascending to that fifth dimension isn't about a one-time spiritual graduation. It is indeed not. It's a daily practice of choosing a higher frequency. It's about moments, not perfection. So keep that in mind as you navigate that and you turn into your own inner radio. Okay, first and foremost, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. I know you've heard this before. I'll repeat it again, but it is absolutely the powerhouse, and it is for a reason. Gratitude instantly shifts your vibration from lack to abundance. Before you get out of bed every morning, please name 3 things you genuinely are grateful for and feel that gratitude in your heart. Number 2, spend time in nature. Nature vibrates at a 5D frequency. It's harmonious, interconnected, and unconditionally giving. So, go for a walk, sit with a tree, watch a sunset, feel the wind, be in the moonlight. Just be present with it, without your phone, by the way. Choose love over fear. Whenever you're faced with a choice, be sure to ask yourself this. Is this decision coming from love or from fear? It's a simple question that can change the entire trajectory of your day. Follow your joy no matter what. What makes you feel genuinely alive, do it. Is it painting, dancing, cooking, helping others? Do more of that. Joy is high-frequency emotion. Laughter goes along with that. It is one of the most high vibrations there is. Joy is such a high-frequency emotion that it acts as a compass, pointing you toward your soul's path, but only if you'll listen and let it be and present in your life. And last, so trite but so true, quiet your mind, release the left brain chatter, and meditate. You don't have to sit for hours on a pillow chanting Om. Even just 5 minutes of quiet time to focus on your breath. This will help you disconnect from 3D mental clutter and reconnect with your inner self. All right, everyone, this journey is a gentle unfolding. Some days you'll feel completely in 5D flow, and other days you might feel a little bit stuck in 3D mud, and that is perfectly okay. The key is compassion. Be gentle with yourself. Every moment is a new opportunity to choose again, to tune back into the station of love. I hope that you will find space, carve some time in your day for this 5D work. It is transformational with the potential to change your life. And with that, we will call this an episode. As always, thank you for joining me here today. I look forward to meeting with you all next week.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Intuitive Hour, please consider following, rating, and reviewing the podcast at Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. You're welcome to access Michelle's free controlled remote viewing exercise that will empower you to uncover answers to your burning questions about lost objects, events, or people in the past, present, or future. Visit michellebeltran.com to access this free offering and rediscover what was once lost.